And Fly Nubian Queen too. Here we go. Good morning, Queens. It's your girl, Delores Jones. And we're getting ready to go into my radio show, Finally Free. I got a special guest in the studio, Miss Latrice Kabuya. Let me tell you something. She has an organization called Let's Get Pretty. And we're going to talk about loving yourself from the inside out. Are you doing it correctly? Well, come on in and join us, all right? In just a moment, make sure that you subscribe. Well, hello, everybody listening to the sound of my voice. Welcome to Finally Free with me, Delores Jones, your comeback coach. You know, my goal is to help you move beyond labels, limitations, and low self-esteem, queens. So we all know that we are powerful, successful, and absolutely unstoppable. I do that a lot of ways. I have a book called Stop the Dumb Stuff. And I have friends like Miss Latrice Kabuya.
Yes.
Welcome, baby.
Thank you.
It's been a minute. Let's make sure we get you. Come on over here, girl, with your pretty self. All right, this is my friend, y'all. That's how we do it up in here, right? You know. Okay.
Come on.
So, Miss Latrice Kabuya, outside of being on television in Kansas City on 2 stations, I said, she done left me at 5.
This is so-
You better come back and get me, girl. I ain't playing with you.
Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely. But she is the CEO of Let's Get Pretty.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Pretty. Prepare, redefine, express the total you.
Oh, honey, did y'all get that? Prepare,
redefine,
express the total you.
It's just simply discovering you, connecting to you, and doing you
authentically.
You?
Okay, so what's one of the first steps to do that?
Accept you. Accept everything about you, right? Accept the greatness that's on the inside, right? Mm-hmm. And then accept those things that, we like to say, what do we need to improve on? I like to call them opportunities.
I love it.
Right? Uh-huh. And so be okay with it because it makes you you. It makes you great. God didn't call us to be perfect. He just called us to operate in purpose.
I love that. Hashtag God did not call us to be perfect.
Yeah.
He called us to operate in our purpose.
That's why we're here.
How long did it take you to get that?
Wow. It's still a journey, right? Because you're rediscovering yourself all the time. Uh-huh. And so I don't think you get to that place called there. You just keep evolving, keep learning, getting revelation on life and who you are and the journey that you're taking and that God has for you.
How did you come up with that acronym of PRETTY? You said prepare,
redefine, express the total you.
Redefine.
Yeah.
Express.
Because we always have to redefine who we are because we go to another season, another layer, another goal, and so you have to redefine what I did at 20. I don't do at 46 now. I'm a different person and it's okay. So I have to redefine that and redefine boundaries, redefine friends and everything.
That's probably one of the hardest things.
Yeah.
Let's go back to your P, prepare.
Okay, yeah.
What does that look like?
Wow. Prepare for me. And I would love to say it's easy. It's simple. It's fun. Prepare is just living your life every day. Not being afraid to face what life has to offer for you, because we know that we can do all things through Christ. And so you're not doing it alone. And so as you go through life every day, you're preparing yourself for the next level, the next season of your life. And so that means the pitfalls, that means the successes. It's all part of your preparation to your destiny.
I love that.
Yeah.
I was listening to Bishop T.D. Jakes.
Yes.
And he said, adversity is an opportunity.
It is. Absolutely. We look at it and we get scared. We want to run from it. But no, it brings growth. It brings strength to us.
He used the story of Joseph.
Yes.
Joseph with the amazing Technicolor dream coat, which is representative of a lot of skills.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And I want to say more than skills because you develop skills, but you're giving gifts. And those are two different things. And his brothers were so envious and hateful.
Yes.
So they put him in a pit and they sold him to slavery.
Yeah.
Now that's some kind of hatred.
Right.
But even in the pit, his gift did not change.
Yes.
And remember, he had the
Yes.
conversation with the baker and
Yes.
a couple of other guys.
Yes.
And one of the guys said, I'll remember you when I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's stop right there.
Okay.
Because there is an article out there called Sisterhood Ceiling.
Uh-huh.
The concept is, as sisters, I will only let you go so far. You cannot supersede me. Okay? So I'm going to get out of the pit, but that doesn't mean I'm going to leave you with anything. Let's hit that real quick.
Let's hit it quick.
Okay.
First of all, we have a big God.
Mm-hmm.
So we have big success. So my shine when I walk in the room doesn't dim you, doesn't dim your light. The thing is, working together for the kingdom of God takes
Mm-hmm.
everybody to
Mm-hmm.
shine.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I'm successful or when there's a season where I'm up front, all you have to do is support, love me through it because your time is coming, right? Because everyone has different seasons. But my path and your path are two different paths. But as long as we stay focused on our path,
Mm-hmm.
we're going to shine.
And we're going to meet up again.
We're going to meet up. And it doesn't mean that it takes anything from you. I love to see people doing it because I look at it as this. When I see people that are successful, that means you're operating in your gift. You're tapping into your authentic self, who God has called you to be.
Mm-hmm.
What am I jealous of? I'm not you. Why are we trying to be copycats when we are originals?
Ooh,
right?
You coming deep today.
But there's just too many people trying to be each other. When you were born an original, so be that. Be a trailblazer. And so with that, my success is not going to look like Delores' success.
Mm-hmm.
I can be I can admire you and just support you and love you through it and be excited,
Mm-hmm.
but it doesn't take nothing. And I think that's the problem. We think it takes away because, you're out, I think you're phenomenal. Like, you're absolutely amazing. And I'm just so humbled to be in your community, right? In your village.
Wow.
And
I appreciate you. And I'm humbled.
Yeah.
Because I saw you on television on Channel 41 and they had her co-hosting the show. Okay. You went from segment appearances and then they came to her and said, hey, we want you to fill in as a guest.
Yes.
And then I told you so-and-so's getting ready to retire.
Yes.
Okay. So they're just grooming you.
Amen.
But sometimes when people are watching, I want to get your whole face on here.
Okay.
Come on, baby. Okay. I know you're looking at me. Come on. But I want them to see you as pretty as you are.
Aww.
Okay. Okay. But for some of us, let's just be honest. Have you ever been a little salty when you saw someone else succeeding?
Let me tell you, yes.
Okay.
I'm going to be honest,
okay.
right? Because we're going to keep it real.
Yeah.
And it was during the time I wasn't operating in purpose.
Okay.
That's the only time
Do tell.
that you're salty, because it's a reminder of what you're not doing.
Girl, say it again.
That's all it is. When you're envious or jealous of someone that's successful, it is that inner being, that inner spirit that is just grieved because you're not operating in purpose. It really has nothing to do with their success. It has to do with what you're not doing, and you're being reminded that you're not doing it.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
So let me tell you what happened when I saw you on the television.
Okay.
And they said she's the host. Now, remember, I was telling you my background is broadcast journalism and my master's in social work. But I was telling you as we were coming up, I said, honey, the position that you were given, the promotion, is one of the most coveted positions that journalists fight for.
Yes, ma'am.
They're not always trying to be out in 100-degree weather.
Right.
Talking about people's business. They want to be in the comforts of the air conditioning in the big seat.
Yes.
So I saw, I was like, okay. So I had to check myself.
Okay.
Can we be honest?
Let's
You can't be honest. You can't be real, and you can't be delivered.
Right.
Okay, hold on. But before I get to my honesty, you all are watching the Fly Nubian Queen Network. And I want you to do me a favor. How about you subscribe to the Fly Nubian Queen Network? I'm Delores Jones, the comeback coach, and I do this exclusively streaming on Fly Nubian Queen because all of the queens need to know what it means to prepare to redefine, express the total you.
Yes.
So this is my friend. Okay, so the other day, because we have to arrest that. It's a spirit.
It is.
And I will agree with you when you said it's a reminder of what you are not operating, that you're not operating in your gift.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm looking at you and I'm sharing it with my sister and we're starting to have this conversation.
Yes.
And then TDJ said this. I found myself kind of going, you know how you go, well, why did they call me?
Yeah. Yes.
And then I said, in the name of Jesus. And I blessed you. And this is what I said. I said, the reason Latrice Kabuya is where she is today is because she's consistent. She is committed. She is faithful. And you have God's favor.
Wow.
And I had to go way back to when you first started your internet show. Because sometimes when people see us on the big screen, they don't realize that sometimes you were just sitting at the kitchen table with a camera.
Ma'am. Yes,
and
ma'am.
just interviewing people.
Absolutely.
And so it's no wonder that you are on KPRT in the morning with my girl, Debbie D.
Yes.
Hey, Debbie D.
Hey, Debbie.
You're bringing the Monday motivation. Tuesday, I don't know where you are. Where you at on Tuesday?
Tuesday, I don't have nothing.
Okay, great. You can hang with me. Wednesday, you got your thing going on. This week, you spent time on about 3 or 4 stations.
Yes.
And now you're here, and we'll get to your event called Unleash Your Greatness. Oh, girl. I've already unleashed my cougar. Okay. But when you find yourself in that place, first of all, honesty is the best policy.
Yes, absolutely.
So how did you what do you remember the situation, what you saw, who you saw, and when you had to say, you a little jealous?
What I saw was the fact that I should be doing that.
Was it a girlfriend?
It was a girlfriend.
Oh.
And I was like, so naturally you want a pity party. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And so I always invite my husband to my pity party, Olivier, and he never shows up. That's the problem.
Okay.
He never shows up.
Right.
But he tells me this. He RSVPs, but this is how he does that. Then do what you're called to do.
That's all he said?
He said, do what you're called to do.
So did you see this person on stage? Did you see him in a magazine?
No, I saw him MC.
Oh, was it at church? Because you spend your time at church.
Why does everyone think?
Because you do. You spend your time at church. We church girls over here.
We are church girls,
okay.
But I don't do everything at church.
Okay, so you weren't at church?
No, I was at an event.
Okay.
And
at a church?
No.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
It was not at a church, but I was just like, oh my gosh, I can do this, and it had nothing to do with what she was doing or how good she was doing it. It was just that I know that's part of what I'm supposed to do. So it was internal. I was grieved. And so I was just like, so I had to start saying, okay, well, why aren't you doing it? Okay, so what excuses do you have? So I had to take a honest step back, a pause, and then deal with me.
So why weren't you doing it?
Fear.
What type of fear?
Okay, so oddly enough, I was like, I can't. I don't want to ask, and they say no.
Rejection.
I don't like no.
Oh.
I'm a 4th child, and I'm kind of spoiled. And so no to me is like, oh my gosh, what? And so, and I did not want that. But no's are so good, right? Because no's help you to stay strong, to be more committed, to strive. Because a no just means not that. That's all it means.
Could it mean not yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not that. Not right now.
Ooh.
Okay. And so we always just, when we know that we're supposed to do something, we just want it right now. The preparation, prepare.
Yes.
The preparation is what's hard.
Yes.
And what gets us a lot of times. So we just sit on our gift and then we're stifled.
How did you get past the fear? Because you were the 4th child.
Just work. Because see, And being the fourth child, when I didn't want to do something or if I didn't get my way, I just pout and stopped. So that went into adulthood until I married Olivier Kabuya.
Mm-hmm.
And so he taught me well that no, that's not how life works. And that's not how success is obtained. And so I really had to work on me. That's why, when people do see me and, they're like, okay, don't forget me. I'm walking grace. I am so humbled. When you reached out to me, I thank God. I was so humble. Every opportunity that God uses me as a voice is humbling because of all that I've gone through, all the things I did right, all the things I did wrong, and he can still use me. He did not change his mind, even when other people did. And so I had to work on me and say, let's do this. Now, I didn't compare myself at that point because I knew, again, this was about me. And so I worked on me, did what I was supposed to, heard from God, the next step, and just kept moving forward.
So your husband's name again?
Olivier.
And he is from Africa.
Yeah, okay. Central Africa.
How did you do that? Because you're from America, girl. We want to know.
From Tonganoxie, Kansas.
Yes. So how did you meet your king?
You know what? I don't even want to tell you.
Yeah. Church. You weren't at church. I knew you was at church. Do we need to just come to church and sit with you?
We were the best of friends because he is that type of guy that you just like because he's such a good person. Gotcha. So we were like friends, like 100%. Uh-huh. And then, we would hang out because I'm that girl that have a lot of guy friends, a lot of girlfriends. And so we would do lunch, breakfast. And one day he said to me, I love you. And no big deal because I love everybody. And so we, hey, I love you too.
Okay.
But that one particular time, the way he said it freaked me out. Right. And so I called my sister. I said, oh my gosh, Olivier said, I love you weird. And she said, Trish, you're the only one that doesn't realize that you two are going to get married. And I was like, are you kidding me? My family, everyone knew that we were gonna fall in love, but I really genuinely liked him
as a person.
Yes. He's just a great guy.
You have a handsome husband.
Yes,
and I see you all on Facebook and everything, and he is so supportive of you.
Oh my goodness, man, yes, it's such a blessing. Again, he's not jealous, envious. My shine doesn't, dull his shine. He loves to push me. And times when I have said no to things, he has said yes. And I found myself doing it because I didn't know if it was quite time. And he's like, no. And he's always telling me, let's do it. Let's move forward.
You loved him so much. You gave him 5 daughters. Let's talk about that, girl.
Let's
because after I had Ricky, I said, let me put the pastor on the phone. Put the girls on the phone. Listen, ain't nobody this fine. Okay. And I just stopped right there. You went 5 and 4 of your beautiful queens are here.
Yes.
Hi, ladies. We'll bring whoever you want to come on if you want to, because I know one of your daughters, you're going to be going away to college.
Yes.
We're going to bring her pretty soon. All of y'all, but you told me they're hungry, so we're going to hurry up. So you gave him 5 queens.
Amazing girls.
Talk about this, because some people will say, he just want me to be barefoot and pregnant, because we're Americanized, but he's from the motherland.
And he is that back in the day, real seasoned Congolese man, right? Congolese.
He got any brothers?
He does. They're all no one's single.
Okay, we'll talk after the show. Go ahead. Congolese. I want to go back to my roots.
You know what? He's a strong man. He is an amazing leader for our family, an amazing visionary. And so I am a strong woman. Okay. And I know that's not popular, but I'm going to tell you, I had to be strong because he's so strong.
What does that mean to be strong?
I'm opinionated.
Okay.
I'm aggressive. I don't back down easy, but I'm wise enough to know when to submit.
Ooh, opinionated, aggressive. You don't back down, but you're wise enough to know
absolutely when
to submit.
Because I don't have to be right. I'd rather have my marriage. Okay. So we're at almost 16 years in November. And the thing about us, we decided several years ago, and not that it's perfect, but arguing is a waste of time and energy.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because we have such a great vision that God has called us to. We don't have time to be in discord. We have to be in unity, because unity attracts vision and purpose and calling. So that's our focus. So I tell anyone out there that is struggling in their marriage, make sure you have a vision. A vision helps you get to where you need to go. It outweighs why you should get a divorce.
The vision?
Yeah. Because it's a bigger calling. When God puts two people together, it's for a greater purpose, right? And that's your focus. I mean, yeah, you get the benefits of loving them, having thighs at home, but it's so much bigger than that, because we're here to fulfill a call of God on our life, to serve our community. And so many times Olivia and I are always brainstorming, doing things, serving the community. Why do we have time to argue? For what?
I got 2 questions for you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You know I'm ready.
Come on.
You said that you're opinionated, aggressive, and you don't back down, but you're wise enough to submit. Tell us what that looks like.
Honoring who he is, which is the head of the home, which is the leader, which is the visionary for our home. So just like a corporation, you have the CEO, right? But really, the VP makes all the decisions. But you just let the CEO think he's doing what he's doing.
Because it's a man's world.
Yes.
But it ain't nothing without a woman.
Running it.
Okay.
He
might be the head, but you're the neck.
Right. Exactly.
Okay.
And the neck has to be strong.
Oh.
The neck has to be strong. That's why I'm strong. So, when women say, oh, I'm not married because I'm too strong, that's a lie. No, I don't believe that, because I am strong. But there's nothing wrong with being strong. You just have to find a man stronger than you.
And what does it mean to be strong?
Meaning that you have an opinion. You're not going to punk out, right?
Okay.
You are going to be a voice. You don't have to be sheepish and shy about, doing things, when him and I talk, even about my empowerment seminar. I have a voice. This is how we're running things. And we'll, talk it out, and a lot of times, you're told or taught, no, just agree with him. No,
but you can agree to disagree.
You can agree to disagree. And if I'm agreeing with everything, it never makes him grow.
How long did it take you to get this? Because where did you say you were from?
Tonganoxie, Kansas.
That's a little bitty place, but it's cool. Okay. So did you ever have bad boyfriends who treated you like crap and you were challenged with those types of memories? Or did you grow up in a household where your mother modeled that type of submission and that type of opinions and aggression, of assertiveness as well?
Yes. Well, this is my second marriage.
Okay.
So I vowed that this had to be it, right? And I was going to do it the right way. First, knowing that I had heard from God the type of man that I was marrying, right? That the list that I had, that check mark.
You had a list. You didn't have one for the first one? No. Okay.
No.
And how long were you in the first one?
10 years on paper.
Okay.
And it was not good. Not taking anything away from my ex. However, that definitely, I saw red flags way before. I mean, even when we were just dating. But, I was young. I was hard-headed. I wanted to do what I wanted to do because I'm strong.
And she was the fourth child.
And I was the fourth child. And if I wanted, I wanted. And although my parents, advised me not to, I'm still going to do it. Right. And I paid for it. And so, however, I had 2 amazing children out of that marriage. And I hold no resentment, unforgiveness. It's just what happens in life. Things like that happen. And I'm good. I'm okay. We've moved on. But with my mom and dad, they've been married like 55 years. Okay.
You had it in the home.
Yes, it was in the home. And my mom, our mouths are slick a little bit, we can get there. And that was one thing I said I did not want to do. I never wanted to attack his character. And so I had to work on that. throughout the years in this marriage, because if I did get upset, I didn't know how to talk it out the first couple of years. So I would just say hurtful things because I was mad, and that just destroys a marriage. And so I was like, I love him too much. And so I had to learn. And so it was a learning process to get to the point where we are now. It's yummy. It's always been yummy, but it's like real yummy, because we're mature. We're mature. We're respectful of one another. We understand the vision for our marriage and for our household. And we've just grown together. I mean, that's my BFF all day.
Okay. You're listening to Finally Free with me, Delores Jones, your comeback coach. I am streaming exclusively on Fly Nubian Queen, and one of my special guests is a queen. This is Latrice Kabuya. She is here in Kansas City, but she travels from all over the world, y'all, and she has a husband from the Congo.
Yes.
So she has things we should know. But most importantly, she is the CEO of Let's Get Pretty. And she says pretty stands for prepare, redefine, express the total you. What I'd like for you to do is to subscribe to the Fly Nubian Queen Network, and also let us know what you want to hear about. What topic, so we can cover it. All right. And I want to thank you for listening and watching. I also want to thank my listeners here in Kansas City who are listening to Power 98.5 KUAW. You all have been great. Do you all know I'm in my 1-year anniversary this month? Wow. This is awesome. Yes. But we'll come back to that because you are here, my dear. Yes. I got to ask you this question. Okay. This is about preparation. Okay. And one of the things I'm learning is you can be gifted, but if you are not grounded, you are no good. Yes. Do you ever get jealous?
No.
Of other women when it comes to your husband?
Oh, no.
No?
No. Not at all. No.
Okay. What you drinking?
But
I got my smoothie, but let me see if I feel that way. Okay.
Let me tell you why. I think it's my personality. I've just never been that person. Even growing up, I don't know. That's just never been I don't know. But then 2, my husband. Have you met my husband yet?
No, not formally. Okay. I've seen him from a distance.
So my husband, so he speaks French, so he has that accent. He has that swag.
Did you put that on your list?
I didn't.
I want to see your list after the show. I'm serious. Do you still have it?
I don't.
How many things are on the list?
It was, I think, about 10.
10. Do you remember any of them?
I know. He had to love God more than anything. Not just, I believe in God, I'm saved. No, I mean like a heart like God. Like oozing out of him. That was so important for me.
Okay.
And he had to love my 2 oldest children as his own, because I had had those girls from a previous marriage. So that was important to me. He had to be smart. I remember that was it. And I had to find him attractive.
Okay.
We want to, spiritualize and say, oh, you grow into it. That's not important. No, it is. Being attracted to your mate. Like, he still gives me butterflies. Like this morning, he was leaving for work and I watched him walk and I was just like, he's so cute. I mean, that is important because it makes the relationship.
What is attractive to you? Because what's attractive to me is something completely different. But what is attractive to you? Was it big shoulders? Was it a nice smile, a bald head, white teeth?
All of
Can
that.
I stress white teeth?
I was going to say all
okay. Have your teeth together.
All of that.
Okay.
And then I love the way he walks. He has such a signature walk. And anyone will tell you that. Like, even his guy friends will be like, man, you can walk. I mean, he just has this confidence about him that it's just like, when he steps in the room, he's there. Completely no. Like, I don't even have to look up. I can feel him.
But remember, you all were just friends.
Just friends.
But did you like that? You didn't even pay attention to that.
I didn't pay attention. When I'm your friend, I am just really your friend.
I have no ulterior motive. No. I just want the best for you.
Yeah. No, in fact, I was praying for him a wife.
He
was praying for me a husband. I
Oh,
promise.
goodness.
So it was none of that funny business going on. Genuinely, he was just a solid guy
Just
that
church
I
hug,
enjoyed.
church
Oh,
hugs on
that
the
was it.
side. Okay.
That
Yeah.
was it. Side. I
Mhm.
mean, there was nothing. I don't even know if I even thought he was attractive. That's just how much we were,
You were more drawn to his personality.
because we can joke,
Mhm.
kid,
Mhm.
and that's what I love.
Right.
So to answer your question about have I been jealous with women, because I know he's called to the nation to speak the word of God, his personality is so inviting. So women are drawn, men are drawn,
Mhm.
but women definitely are drawn, especially because he has such wisdom and insight. You know, he's a brilliant man and he's a spiritual man. So I knew early on that women would just be drawn because they love power, they love confidence, and they love a man, a godly man, right? And so I'm okay because guess what? I go home with them.
Oh, girl, you better say it.
I don't. So
You talk about being
yeah,
pretty. You
yeah,
and you prepared yourself on all levels.
yeah,
I
yeah.
thought about that. I was sharing on live here on the Fly Nubian Queen Network about midnight yesterday. I had this epiphany,
Okay.
and I was talking about insecurity because I was sitting with a beautiful friend of mine who
Yeah.
has a guy who adores her, but she asked him when he gets home, were you with anybody?
Okay.
And that's because she had 2 abusive situations, and now she has 10 children.
Okay.
But she had 4 in one marriage, 4 in the next one.
Okay.
And but if you saw her, she looked like a brick house. I was like, go
Yes.
sit down somewhere.
Yes.
Anyway, but it wasn't her look per se.
Yeah.
It was what's in her mind that she was telling. So anyway, what I was stressing on here the other night, I'm trying to find my thought again.
about the jealousy, the insecurity, because I was saying how I'm not when it comes to women,
Mhm.
you know, and just the fact that I just know what he's called to do.
Right.
And he also is the type of man that guards his relationship with me.
Mhm.
So he's very respectful to me. So there's never a also so it plays both end, right? I have to be whole, right? But he
Bingo.
also guards our relationship. And at any time if he feels
Mhm.
that, you know, someone's trying to act out of character, he shuts it down and he'll refer her to me. You know, go talk to my wife.
This is what I remember now.
Yeah.
So we got Duchess Meghan Markle.
Uh-huh. Yes.
And now she's in the royal family.
Mhm.
And this is what I was sharing last night. I said, Prince Harry, his former 2 girlfriends were invited to that wedding.
Yes.
And they only invited 600 guests. So can you imagine Duchess Markle, Meghan, looking at the guest list, and on there are 2 of his ex-girlfriends.
Long time.
Now that said a couple of things. That said that he's a good man, Savannah.
Yes.
He knows how to treat women, and they still respect him enough to come to his wedding.
Absolutely.
But when they did the research and they said, you know what? Both of those women were who they were in their own right. But Duchess Meghan Markle had something different. She was comfortable in the spotlight.
Mm-hmm.
She knew who she was. She had a presence. We were talking about preparation.
Yes.
And we're spending a lot on preparation because that's where we like kind of skip over stuff.
Yes. Because that's the process.
But she knew it.
Yes.
And then he was like, I got to.
Yes.
I got to. He went straight James Brown on her. Now listen. Then instead of, you know, sometimes we're like, I don't fit in. No, they groomed her.
Yes. They did.
They groomed her.
But she still stayed true to who she was.
Yes. And then she had to let go of some things. So when we talk about preparation, I'm staying on preparation because that's so important when you're talking about loving yourself from the inside out. She had to let go of social media.
Yes.
No more selfies. No more selfies.
Right.
She can't sign autographs anymore because people can take them and, you know, fraud happens.
Yes.
The other thing, she has to sit a certain way. So she has to now sit with her legs together.
Okay.
Or she has to sit with her ankles crossed.
Okay.
And they call it the princess slant. Okay.
Okay.
The other thing, the queen had to approve her wedding dress.
Okay.
Now, some of us, we'd be like, ain't nobody going to tell me what to wear.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're preparing for the next level,
Right.
something has to change.
Something has to change.
So her clothing has been modified. And what I mean
Yes.
by that, certain things were tradition.
Mhm.
And so she had some wiggle room. So
Right.
you saw her shoulders the other day.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
But the other thing is she found out about the power of a queen. Queen Elizabeth, which I don't even remember hearing her speak. Have you ever heard the Queen speak?
No.
Okay.
No.
I haven't either. But I'm going to give you an example. When the queen is done eating, everybody's done eating.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're in the middle of your tiramisu. So this is the cue. When the queen grabs her purse, she sits it on the table. That is the clue
Mm-hmm.
that she's through.
Mm-hmm.
So Duchess Meghan grab their purses
And they're done.
and they're done.
Absolutely.
They're done.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in order to do that, there has to be a time of preparation.
There has to be.
But for some of us, I'm guilty. We don't want to do the work. We don't want to do the inside out. Just
Yes.
just give it to me.
Yes, because it is work.
Yes.
Work, yeah. And sometimes it's hard and it's challenging.
Mhm.
But just like the example you gave, you have to look at it and see, do I want to do this? Is this worth it? Is this what I'm supposed to do? Because some people will be like, I'm still eating. But you have to look beyond that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
To get to that next level.
It's a different culture.
It is.
Being a queen is a different culture.
It is.
And queens don't speak the same language.
They don't. That's
just-
why they're the queen.
Yeah, and your husband speaks French. Oui. Okay. Whatever. I gotta talk to you later. Right. But also, one last thing about Meghan. Duchess, I got to keep putting the Duchess in front because she was our Meghan, but she's the Duchess. Okay, is when she's out in public. If her husband, they're in a big setting, a lot of events, she has to walk about 2 feet or so behind him.
Uh-huh.
Now, in America, we're like, I ain't walking behind no man. I'm walking next to you, right?
Why though?
The why. The why is if something pops off,
she's protected.
She is protected.
And that's
he takes the bullet first.
And that's my point. A lot of times, like you said, why I have to walk behind? But because we're so busy trying to be the boss. But
for some of us, that's all we know. I grew up
Right.
and my mom is deceased. She passed away when I was 5 years old. So, and my dad, well, okay, we had 3 different fathers and they were nowhere to be around. So a good example of that is when I was dating a former spouse.
Okay,
he was fine too, girl.
Okay.
Mhm. I wanted what I wanted.
You wanted what you
because I was the
wanted.
oldest child. Okay, anyway. But he came to my house. Notice my house. Okay, so I was prepared.
Yeah.
He was in the doorway and I opened the door and I was like, hey, and he just stood there with an attitude. I'm like, you've been coming over here for quite a while. What is the problem now?
Right.
So he looked at me and he says, when I came home, my mama greeted my daddy at the door with a kiss. I said, oh. I said, well, when I came home, my grandma said, look, y'all better go out to that car and get all of them groceries and don't you drop that paper bag. We had 2 totally different cultures.
Totally different.
But then he went on, to make his point. And I just ended with this. Well, your mom ain't with your daddy no more. So something wasn't working. I'm opinionated, aren't I?
And that's okay.
I don't back down, do
But
I?
and you don't have to, but the man has to be able to teach. So if there's a certain thing he may like and it speaks to him and it ministers to him, instead of attacking and saying what you're not doing or this is what my mom did, there's a way that he can bring it to you that's loving.
Yeah.
And appreciative. Because as women, we always want to take care of our man. We do typically. And so because Olivier being in his culture, it's different than being from Tonganoxie.
Right. But I think you did well.
But yes, because it's all about how he communicates to me.
So you did a lot of preparation on yourself. You know how to conversate. You're smart. You're not a dum-dum.
Thank you.
Because it's more than cute. Cute don't cut it, honey. Okay.
Yes.
Cute don't pay the bills.
Yes.
But money does.
Yes.
But you have to, God gives you the strength to get wealth.
Absolutely.
And one thing I'm praying now, instead of saying, God, give me money, I'm saying, God, make me an answer because
Yes.
people pay for solutions.
Yes.
I listen to Jake's a lot.
Yes.
Make me an
An
answer,
answer.
right?
Absolutely.
An answer to a situation
Yes.
that's somebody. And so when you're preparing yourself, that
Yes.
P,
Yes, that P.
Lord, make me an answer.
Yes. Yes.
I know you're broken, like a
Yes.
key,
Yes.
broken in all these wrong places.
Yes.
But the thing to remember is that key fits somewhere,
Somewhere.
and there will be a click. When you get the click, that's it.
That's perfect.
You know how sometimes we like stick the key and
Right.
kind of,
Right.
and then you break the key off,
That's perfect.
or you get mad, start kicking the door. I knew this was the key. I can't believe this.
Yes.
Unnecessary.
Absolutely.
So let's shift from the P, the
Okay.
preparation, to redefine.
Yes. Yes.
What do you mean by redefining yourself?
You know, I'll just be, I'll use myself as an example. There's a lot of failures that I had, right?
Mhm.
And, you know, the one thing I learned, when you fall, just fall forward. You're still moving, you know? And I move forward and, you know, get back up. When you stop or quit, it is permanent. So what you do when you fall, you pause, redefine what's going on, what you need to do, redefine who you are. Because a lot of times you allow circumstance to define you.
Mhm.
So you have to redefine yourself. I'm not my circumstance. I'm not my divorce. I'm not my mistakes, right? I'm not those opportunities. Now I will learn from them and move forward. So I had to redefine, you know, because I was that girl that got pregnant out of wedlock. I was that girl that quit college. I was that girl that had the divorce. I was that girl that had low self-esteem and wanted to end my life. I was that girl. And so I had to redefine myself to who I am now.
I like the word was.
Yeah.
That's past tense.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Was that girl.
I was.
How long did it take you to say, I was her, but this is who I am now?
You know, it took me that particular season. I would say it took me a couple of years.
2?
Uh-huh.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it was actually as an adult going through the divorce. Because I had never been by myself. So to have 2 kids, this is how bad it was. Going to McDonald's by myself was a lot. I took my girls because they wanted to go to McDonald's, and oh my gosh, it was a defining moment. I went in with my girls, and I thought everyone was looking at me like, she's a single mother. She's a single mother, you know, and I was like, okay, we're going to get the food and leave. They wanted to play in the playground area. So I was just like dreading it. So I sat there, of course, there was husband and wife, husband and wife, husband. And so I sat there and I just cried right there with tears. And I believe it was a cleansing at that moment for me because I'm in McDonald's crying. My kids are playing. And that's when I realized I don't love myself. I've always had to have someone. And so at that point, I cried and cried. People came up asking me, was I okay? And I cried until I couldn't cry no more. And at that moment, I started going through the process of loving me, that I was okay being a single mom.
So you broke down in McDonald's.
McDonald's.
Yeah, I was talking about I had a fight with the McDonald's French fries the other night. I did. It was the devil. But listen, you're in McDonald's.
McDonald's.
And the kids are laughing and probably people were feeding each other French fries.
Yes. And I just
did it make you sick at first?
It made me, I was embarrassed.
Why were you embarrassed?
Because, you know, I was of a certain family and we didn't divorce. We stayed married. My parents are married. What are you talking about? So and Treese gets what she wants, or so she thought.
Yeah.
And so I just felt like everyone was doing this, just staring at me.
Where'd
pointing.
You get that from, though?
You're mine.
Did someone say something to you?
No
Did
one
you
said a word to me. It was all in your mind. Your mind is so powerful. That's why you have to watch what you have to guard your mind, because
Absolutely.
your mind is the devil's playground.
So here you were, you had a child out of wedlock, and then you had another child, and now you had a husband, which he was your husband.
Yes.
That's a positive right there. Okay,
Yes.
he's no longer it. So you got the divorce.
Yeah.
You're looking at your parents who are now married 50
Yeah.
years.
Yeah. Everyone
And
else is happy, blissful,
yeah,
everyone in my circle. And I was humiliated and embarrassed. And the way that my ex left was very humiliating and embarrassing. And so I just thought everyone just had their finger looking at me, saying, ha ha.
yeah.
Yeah.
My defining moment happened at Walmart.
Okay.
I don't know. I go to Walmart all the time. My son was about 4.
Okay.
I left his dad and we divorced.
Okay.
And I was at Walmart and we were coming through the door. And you know how they have the electric horses?
Mm-hmm.
And Ricky wanted to get on the horse. Well, I didn't have 50 cents. 50 cents. I kind of get emotional when I think about that. Do you ever go back to that? Because I'm not going to cry right now. But just hearing that, I did not have 50 cents.
Yes.
So my son is starting to cry and I am feeling embarrassed because everybody's walking by me. And I'm like, what do you do, Delores? You don't have 50 cents. You got good sense, but you don't even have 50 cents.
Yes.
You got a degree. You graduated from the number 1 journalism school.
Wow.
You got a divorce, but you don't have 50 cents. In fact, this isn't right. Okay. And if I'm not mistaken, I think I had my master's degree by that time. So this gentleman walked by. He places Ricky on the horse, puts the 50 cents in. I'm still standing there like speechless. I go through the grocery store. I don't want to cry. But I go through the grocery store. I get all of the groceries. When I get to the register, Latrice, I don't have enough money. So I have to take stuff out of the basket in order to pay for what was only $20. That was so hard. It was so embarrassing. But thank God I realized I was more than that.
Yes. That's the key.
I was more than that. I'm glad that we're having this moment because even sitting here and you holding my hand, this is so powerful to me. It's like saying, you're okay, baby.
You're okay.
That was then.
Yes.
This is now.
Yes.
I appreciate you.
Yes.
The power of affirmation from sisters and queens who have been there.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing, because it took me to a place, and you're right. It's like cleansing.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful. And I'm grateful for those times, Delores, because one, it showed me how amazing and merciful God is. I look back because I get it. I have parents that provided for me, even as an adult when this happened. But, you get a little prideful, right? And I remember Marquita Miller.
Hi, Marquita.
Hey, Marquita.
No more excuses.
Yes.
Only results. Okay.
Yes. Came over and she said, you haven't eaten. And I said, yeah, I have. I'm nursing. But I was so sick to my stomach. And my ex wasn't providing any money for me, and I needed to buy coats for the babies, just all those necessary things. And she brought me some food, fed me, not just bought me, she fed me physically.
Oh my God.
Made me chew. And she had coats, wipes, diapers. So, again, when people say, oh my God, how do you feel? Look what's happening. I'm so humble because I have a story. So I can never get prideful because I'm so grateful from where God brought me from.
I love that.
So it's never a question of, oh, you think you're all that. You just don't know me, because if you only knew, I am humbled every moment that God allows me. Because again, he didn't change his mind. Even when I was back there in the mud and in the pit, he didn't change his mind on who I was and what I was called to do.
Well, I'll tell you what I ended up doing. I went and got me some food stamps, okay? Even with my master's degree. I walked up in there. I said, look here, I'm a social worker and a taxpayer.
Yes.
And at that time, they would make take your picture.
Okay.
You're like, why you need to take my picture for the food stamp card?
Yeah.
But this is what I did. I said, hold on. Get my good side, because this is a Kodak moment. And that's what we have to understand when we're redefining ourselves.
Yes.
It's just a moment.
Just a moment.
In time.
It's a pause. Yeah, that's all. That's all.
You's a bad girl.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be? How would the world be if I said, you're the bad girl? You say, no, you're the bad girl. You're the bad girl. No, you're the bad girl. All right. So let's go to express the total you, and then we'll talk about your workshop.
Yes. It's express who you are, your authentic self. It is okay. I realize that I'm from Tonganoxie, so I'm quirky. I'm just who I am, and I'm okay. I talk this way. I used to get made fun of, but this is good for me. This pays bills. This voice right here, right? So I'm okay. So you express you, whatever that is. I'm not as fabulous as you are. I don't want to be you. I have to express me, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that I actually have meaning, so that I can impact the world. I don't need to be you because it's a duplicate, and that's not always good.
It's not the best as like the original.
Right,
the ink is all faded.
Exactly.
You don't want it.
And as fabulous as I would love to be one day when I grow up and be like,
you're already fabulous.
You're fab. You're so, isn't she just like the
isn't
fab?
She just like fab?
I love it. But, and so and with 5 girls, I had to make sure, because a lot of times you always hear, oh, they're so pretty. Oh, this one is this one. And there's always a competition between people, and they don't mean that to my girls. And so I had to help them understand they're all unique. They're all different, and it's okay. So this is your strength. This is your strength. This is your strength. And express you. Don't be your sister. You're not in your sister's shadow.
Uh-huh.
Just be you.
What's funny is they didn't know this, but as soon as before we got on the show, I did like this to hide my cleavage. Yeah. And you said, don't do that. And I said, what? Wait, she said, don't you do that. Why did you tell me not to do that?
Be comfortable. Be comfortable in you. This is all of you. You're a beautiful being. Someone must have said something, told you something. This dress is fabulous. Do you. And you do well. I love it.
Come on, let's talk about Unleash Your Greatness. Yes. And it's happening here in Kansas City. Yes. So queens from all over the world, y'all got time to come to Kansas City too, okay?
Yes. August 4th. Yes, at the UMKC campus, the student union. I just thank God for UMKC. They always support me. And my seminar every year is called It's All About You. And our theme this year is Unleash Your Greatness. And it's for ages 8 to 18 girls. It's girl power. And I'm a foodie, so we're going to have lunch. But it's going to be a great time of inspiration, empowering, just mentoring, teaching girls, right? Because they're faced with so much. I mean, more than we were,
Oh, yeah.
And the social media is, oh my gosh, has just ripped a lot of girls apart. And so we are going to build them up, give them application that they can live by, tools that they need to survive and be successful. A lot of times they don't know they're great. They don't understand what greatness is. They don't understand that it's already on the inside of them and how to release that. So we're going to do that. I have speakers that are always amazing, and this year is no different. They're going to be transparent and honest, because everyone has a story, and you just see the success part of it, but you don't know the story. So they're going to share that.
Yeah, I'll have to stop by and support.
Absolutely. Oh, I would love that. Yes,
I'm there.
Yes,
yeah, we may even talk about partnering, because one of the things I realized, Miss Latrice Kabuya. Kabuya. He's from the Congo. Oh, girl, you better bring it. You never know what happens on Finally Free with me. Yes. Okay, freedom.
Yes, definitely.
All right. Don't be making. I'm gonna go back on that. Okay. But I realize that sometimes the little girl in us has not healed.
Oh, Definitely. And that's such a great point, because the speakers and the workers, a lot of times they tell me, I'm so glad I was there because I learned. I took notes, right?
Mhm.
And so, just because you're an adult, that little girl has to heal.
Absolutely.
She's still that little girl that needs affirmation,
Mhm.
needs clarity, understanding,
Mhm.
And so it's just a powerful time from 10 to 4 for everyone just to be encouraged, motivated, inspired, empowered. You walk away and it's like, wow, I can conquer the world.
Yes.
Yeah.
But how do you keep those young women motivated? Because, we can go to a lot of workshops.
Yes.
What would you tell someone who's watching today how to keep yourself motivated? Because all of this information we share today is powerful.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What's the key to staying in that space when you are loving yourself from inside out?
I think it's the tools that we give, the application. The girls tell me, my daughters tell me all the time that I'm constantly teaching. But one of the things that I tell people to do when they leave, because, you go back into real world, little notes to yourself.
Okay.
Saying, I love you. You're amazing. You're awesome. Just those things right there. Put them on your mirror, your refrigerator, in your purse. And just every time you're feeling some kind of way, just get it out and read it and tell yourself that. I tell everyone, I talk to myself. I look in the mirror and I say, girl, you got it today. You a bad girl. You are equipped. You are called for such a time as this. Whatever you put your hands to will be blessed and will prosper. And so you talk to yourself. I have confessions for myself that I speak over my life on a daily, right? And it just helps me to stay empowered.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm so happy you came.
I'm so thankful that you asked me to come.
Yes, I'm going to have you back. I was writing all kind of notes. You see this
Oh,
paper I
yeah.
filled up? Okay. Thank you, love.
Thank you.
Mwah. Thank you all for watching and for listening to Finally Free with me, Delores Jones, the Comeback Coach. My goal is always to help move you beyond labels, limitations, and low self-esteem so that you're powerful, successful, and unstoppable. Mm-hmm. And in the midst of that, to help you bounce back better, not bitter, through life experiences and bad decisions, because you can you can unleash your greatness. Thanks for watching. Make sure you share the video. Make sure you subscribe to the Fly Nubian Queen Network. Hello, Ghana. I've had all kinds of people watching and listening. I'm getting ready to go and have a little conversation with my guest so she can talk about how I can go back to the Congo and get me what'd you get? Congolese man like she got at home. All right. Take care. Be blessed. I love you.
You are so amazing.
Did you like it?
Oh my God, you are such a natural.
Thank you.
Oh my God.
Yes. So I get excited. I was thinking